Good morning. Uh, so, as all are joining, can we have good morning, Muttal? Can we have the screens on as far as possible? Like, if you can, the way, so I know I'm talking to whom. Is it possible to keep the screen on? Yeah, thank you. All are traveling, or is it not possible? Because it will be this topic is such that if I connect, I need to see your faces, your expression. Okay, Dipali, but try if you can. It will help me. Okay. Fine. Thank you, Dipali. Okay, sure. As participants are joining, can we have a brief introduction about yourself, like, your name, what are you, into, and what made you join this session? So, whoever wants to start can.
May I?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I'm Dipali Sadawate. I'm a practicing CS, company secretary. I'm based in Pune. Also, I'm a corporate trainer, as in specifically, I do POSH trainings. And recently, I have started with POCSO also.
Okay.
So, yes, this is my profile in brief and looking forward to the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Dipali. Yeah.
Hi, I'll go next.
Yes.
My name is Karthika Nair. I've been in corporate for over 20 years, and now I'm the vice president of a charitable educational trust that runs schools. So
Okay.
because I'm not really knowledgeable about education and issues like this, I joined this course because you hear so much about child sexual abuse
Yes,
these
yes.
days. So it's very important for somebody who's going to head a school to know a lot
Yes.
more. There's
Very
only
true,
so much
Karthika.
information you can get when you read. Whereas
Yes.
it's, you're sharing with somebody else, you understand and find out there's a lot more to it.
True. So you're on the right platform. Here we are to create awareness and share the knowledge rather than more of technicalities. So thank you for joining. Who's going next?
Maybe let me do. I'm
Yes,
Vijay Bhanushar.
yes.
I work in a multinational IT company as a delivery desk. The subject I'm trying to gain more knowledge around it, maybe for my kids' well-being and also to contribute in the society.
Very true.
Awareness for others. So, have been part of your session earlier. Just wanted to be part of this again to get more knowledge out of it. So that's
Yes.
where I'm.
It so happens, each session is always with a different experience, or you just get some additional knowledge either as a participant, or this platform has a knowledge sharing also. So it's nice to have you, Vijay sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Tanishka, you wanted to go?
Hi, my name is Tanishka.
Yeah.
And I'm a third year student in BSc Finance and MIMS. And I'm interning under Divija Di. So
yes.
So
welcome, Tanisha.
Thank you, ma'am. Actually, I want to get more knowledge because it happens in daily life, all of this.
Yes.
So we should be aware about all of this and our surroundings.
Yes.
So it's very important.
Yeah. Thank you, Tanishka. Who would like to go next? Ayushi or?
May I?
Yes. Okay, Shushmita, please.
Yeah. Hi, myself Shushmita. I'm based out of Kolkata and I'm an IT professional from past 10 years. I have known about this session from Shanadi, who is my neighbor. So nowadays, according to the incidents, you all know, right? in West Bengal and the other cities as well. It's very much essential for being a mom of a girl child to know about this POCSO guidelines and all these rights and acts which needs to be like basic nowadays.
Yes.
So being an mother and as a means human being to contribute to society, that's why I have joined this session,
Yeah.
so that I can have a bit of knowledge that I don't know. So
Yeah.
that's why.
Thank you, Sushmita. And to tell you, it's POCSO is gender neutral. So I am a mother of twins who is a girl and a boy. So, so it's very, very important as a parent, as a citizen to know all this, because you never know where the knowledge is required to create the
Yes.
awareness or, to protect somebody. So, so thank you for joining, Sushmita.
Yeah.
Yes. Next.
Hey everyone, this is Mutal here.
Yeah, hi.
Good morning, and
morning.
I'm from Tamil Nadu, residing in Gurgaon as of now. I'm into profession of POSH consulting and practicing, as well as DEI, associating with US company.
Oh,
So
wow.
we are working with bottom to top approach. So when we are talking about POSH and rights relevant to POCSO is also one of the important
True.
things that I have to understand.
True.
So I thought I want to educate myself so that I can enable more people to understand these aspects and I can disseminate the information for more positive change and impact.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
that's why I'm here. Thank you for this
Okay. Thank you.
space.
Anybody else would like to?
Did Ayushi introduce herself?
No, not yet. I just called for her.
Yeah, Ayushi, unmute yourself and introduce yourself, please. Okay, anyone else left? I mean, Mohini ma'am, has she introduced herself?
No, they one by one they are.
Okay.
As we are waiting for some. So all the participants have joined, or are we waiting for someone?
Even if we are, ma'am, I think we should start. It's
Yes,
11:10, and there will be questions also coming in between.
Yeah.
So,
What I would like to request is two things: that if it's possible to have your screens on, so it will help us, to communicate with you, because this is a topic which is sensitive, emotional. So I would request wherever possible, if otherwise the screen looks like I'm talking to nobody with, that's the reason I would request that. And that's how we start the session now. Here, I would like to give a brief about Poshshala initially. Poshshala was formed in 2021. Divija Dave as a founder, along with Mr. Amit Dave and Dr. Nivriti. These are the leaders in the on Poshshala. We as senior trainers have joined them. We also have a self-defense team with us. So basically, it's a spread over from in Indore, Maharashtra. That's how we are trying to cover. Basic aim is, not to have a checkbox activity of POSH or POCSO. We want to encourage the spirit of the law. We want to go to the ground realities and create that awareness, because we are here to create awareness and create a group or the torch bearers for this particular act, like the POSH and POCSO. So we have done a lot of sessions. We have touched 5,000 and above participants. Basically, they are into corporates, NGOs, central government, and that's how we are trying to spread our wings we're trying to create the awareness amongst all of y'all. It could be bits by bits. It cannot have that we get, a crowd of 100, 200, but we are happy that at least we are starting somewhere with smaller steps. The aim is to create awareness, and torch bearers, like y'all, will take it forward as we have started taking it forward, because y'all can take it forward, with somebody, with us, or even for that matter, you can take it yourself individually. So that's how is the plan of Poshshala, and we are here for y'all all. Now, introducing myself, my name is Shilpa Bhatia. By qualification, I'm a company secretary and a law graduate with 23 years of corporate experience. And I'm also an independent director on the board. And later on, as I met Divija, we have been knowing each other for more than 4 to 5 years. But then as we connected for this particular mission, it was very close to my heart also. And I joined with them. So POSH and POCSO is something I am part of it, and I give training individually as well as with Poshshala. I have my co-trainer Sayana, Dutta, who would be taking the session after mine. So that's how I would be introducing her that time, to have a fresh outlook from her end. So can we start the session with the PPT which has, and one more thing which was recently I would like to talk to you about is that Poshshala joined hands with Navi Mumbai Police Crime Branch as we visited them, and they gave us a platform where, along with their team, we entered schools. Okay, and there we started giving sessions on POCSO, which was for the teachers, because they are the first introduction when the kids enter the school, and we call them as second parents also for now. So Navi Mumbai is a place where we covered almost all schools, because schools don't give entry, very comfortably, which we will be talking later. And with the help of the police, now we are entering the society also. So that's the way we are trying to spread the wings. And POCSO is a subject which is very sensitive and need of the hour. Considering, we all being parent or in another role as a teacher or a professional, whatever role we are here for everybody to know what is POCSO, what we need to take care, create awareness, be preventive, rather than, we read about the cases and feel bad, and we feel that, we could not do anything about it. But yeah, here we are here to create this awareness, as you all shared that you want to, gain knowledge about it and then create awareness. So thank you for joining us, and this is really an important topic in today's world after POSH. So I would like to start the session with the PPT. Sayana, could you help me with that?
Sure, ma'am. So from your right-hand corner, you see the red button. Next, you see the three-dotted button, then the hands-up button, and right next to it is a box.
Okay.
Where you have to present now. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not used to Google. That's the reason.
Completely fine. Just press on that, ma'am,
and I
start
it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, this will be a mixture of the law, technical stuff, which Shilpa ma'am will be taking care of. And the next part, we will be coming in case studies, and I'll give you practical tips on how do you raise children aware, how do you bring up gender-sensitized children, okay, and who will be empowered at their own level to fight for themselves as they grow up. And it's a continuous journey. So there will be a lot of complicated psychology-based stuffs that will be coming up on your way. Any point of time, if you feel the need to stop us, both of us, please feel free to do that. Raise a hand. Everyone knows the raise hand button. You can just raise hand over there. We will pause. We will take a pause, and we will try to help you with something. And of course, there will be a dedicated segment that will be simply meant for you to raise your questions, and we will try to answer them. But in between, if there is something which you feel you didn't understand, you want us to break it down and explain it to you, please feel free to do it. Okay. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you, Sayana. Okay, so you all are able to see the presentation?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. We'll take it. I'll just do it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So here we are introducing the awareness program on POCSO to all of you. We are here to understand what is POCSO, not per se as an act, but to understand what we need to be aware about, not only in terms of the technical law which is there, but in terms of what we need to know as a parent, as a teacher, or as a professional, what we need to take care about when we connect with our children's, what indicators are there in that, and that's how we would go ahead. So we take it the next slide. Yes. Now, what's the whole meaning of POCSO? POCSO means protection of children against sexual offense. Now, in the POCSO, there is a lot of definitions which have been given. Different kind of definition. What is a child abuse? What are sexual offenses? What are the preventive things which we need to do? But they are in too details in legal and all. So we will try to cover what we need to on this platform. Protection means, when we say protection, it is a law which has a criminal it is considered as a criminal law. Okay, so it has a lot of support from the police, from the court. And as you all are aware now how sensitive it has become, the children's are not considered protective anywhere. For that matter, when we used to talk earlier, that stranger danger game, but now it's not so. Even the people we know are dangerous, right? So we are not sure whether they are safe in school, society, or with some friends or at somebody's house. That's how we feel that now child abuse has been such a serious, heinous crime which is happening, and we have to sensitize everybody on this subject. Yes. The objective of this training program is, firstly, as I shared, we need to understand the act. We need to understand the early warning which are there. Means looking at the child, children are so innocent that they would not come up with a situation where, they come and talk to you easily. But now, as we will be aware about this act, we will be aware about how we need to deal with the children's. We will try to understand what are the early signs where we can go and talk and convince the child that, yeah, we are there for you and you can talk to us. So these are the measures which we will try to explain you. And whatever we try, it should be age appropriate. Okay, we cannot talk to a child who is 3 years or 4 years, something which an adult should know or a teenager should know. So we will try to break this session and we will try to explain what are age appropriate measures which we need to take. Like when you're talking to your 3 to 4 years child, or when I'm talking to my 9 to 10 years child, and so on in the teens. So POCSO is basically for those children who are below the age of 18. Yeah, it's purely as a children or as a child which we deal with them. Then sensitizing even the children, making them aware about it, what care they need to take, because we as parents or we as guardians would not be there with them always. Do you believe in that? Like, we cannot be there always, right? We need to also educate them, make them aware that these are the signs you need to take care, right? So that is something which will be part of the training, helping them understand the behavioral of the other person also, how that person will behave, and you need not get into that fix that you're facing that kind of a situation. We will also voice out the concerns which are there, which Sayana will be taking up in the next session, how it happens. Yes, sir. Yeah. So the agenda which we are trying to cover is, first we explain what would be the objective of the training program. Now, what are the essentials of POCSO Act? What are the child sexual abuse, different types? It's not only physical always, there are different types which will be explained. Why it happens? What's the basic cause? Okay, we cannot predict all causes, but we will try to sensitize what apparently could lead to a child abuse, right? Assessment of early warning signs, looking at the child, whether we can, judge or find out, and then, be friendly, give them the comfort, and try to extract what has happened. Is everything fine, or is there something wrong in that? Introduction of body safety rules, impact. What would be the impact of sexual abuse, unfortunately, if a child is facing nowadays, because children are so hands-on with the online media, the platform which is there. So we will try to also explore those sexual abuse. And because our kids are looking at a lot of games and everything, how people connect with them and how they take advantage of that situation when we are not around, those are the things where media level we can cover. Of course, we will talk about grievances, which has been designed by NCPCR, National Commission for Child Right and Protection. Here, what has happened, just to share with you, we have our NCPCR modules for child right protection, and which has been approved by NCPCR. The modules which we are going to use for train the trainer programs later, those are the modules which have already been approved by NCPCR. That's how we started our journey for creating this awareness. Of course, the major role which is played by school, how the school should be taking it up, and the later part, how the school should execute the POCSO Act, because still today they are not serious about it, and that you all are aware, right? The way things are happening still, means if school were that serious and not considering only a checkbox activity, things would have been in control. But it doesn't seem so, right? You all will also be hearing so many cases recently, after one another cases, just we say that this case has happened, this is the output, but then we hear something else happening. So that means it's still continuing. Nothing has stopped. People are aware, but they're not yet going into a depth and trying to find out the cause, or trying to control why it went wrong. Learning from the experiences. It's not necessary that you wait and face it. You can learn from the experiences which are there, right? Now, for that matter, just sharing an example is that I tried that, this is a platform. I was sharing the flyer with one of the school group where all parents are there. You'll not believe there were only few parents just showed me thumbs up, because I was just telling them that in our school, when I interacted with the school and tried to find out whether the training is there, they just replied to me subtly that, we are following the guidelines of POCSO. Here we are not looking at following the POCSO guidelines or returning some submissions or annual return or compliances. We are looking at the spirit, that whether you have really introduced all those things which have been mentioned in the guidelines. They're not clear in telling that, and they did not allow me to take the session. So I have put a request that as a parent, I would like to have these training sessions for parents to be conducted by the school. Believe me, parents are aware, but still they are not into that serious mode where they understand what it is and how things are going wrong. They would say that, yeah, it's happened with somebody, it's okay. Don't wait to happen with yourself. Yeah, that's the kind of seriousness we are trying to bring on this platform by creating torch bearers and making you all aware that how things are serious and we should take it serious. Serious means I don't say that you'll be keeping on thinking about it full time, but you're aware, and something you have heard, something where you need to guide them, you're there for them. That's what I'm trying to say. Because after POSH, this has also become important. As we go ahead with the presentation, you would realize that why you're on the right platform, why you're there to gain knowledge on this subject, and it will be so important for you. You will be a torch bearer, taking it forward and creating further awareness. Yes. Okay. So apart from that, there'll be a counseling importance. What is the counseling importance which is there? child-friendly technique which will be explained, and the school checklist which is there, which we could extract from one of the media, that's CBSE board. We have tried to put it so that you all become aware that these are the kind of checklist which the school needs to follow. Whether they follow or not, that you individually also can get it checked from respective schools where your child is, or maybe somebody's child is, where you want to check that whether they are following the guidelines or not. Yes, Shine. Now, as we are in Maharashtra, a majority of, if participants are in Maharashtra, you would be aware of the Badlapur case, which recently happened a month or two back, right? Badlapur was near me only, and one fine day we got this news that, there was a rail roko and everything, and that's where we went into the depth and we found out the case, that what really happened. It was a school where two small girls of the age of 4 and 5, which were assaulted. Yeah. And what went wrong? There was a sweeper who was hired, and he went with them in the washroom, and that incident happened. It would have not come to the knowledge of anybody if the child would have not told their parents. And the most important thing, parents were receptive. Parents listened to the child and they brought it to the police station, and that's how it was taken forward. And then the culprit, the person, was caught and jailed. And what was the major thing which went wrong in this case was, firstly, the person who was hired had just joined on a contract basis from 1st August. Yeah. So it was few months which was there. The second thing which went wrong was, when it is girl child, when it is a toilet for girls, it should be the female attendant who should be there with them, right? So the school management should have taken care of the basic thing. One is the checkpoint of whom you're hiring. That's the one of the most important reason where you need to have the background check, which went wrong. Second is the basic thing, like when it is girls, you need to have a didi who is going with them and attending. This was a really heinous crime, and where the whole Maharashtra was shaken, and many things came into a light. And of course, it had its own outcome by killing the culprit and all. And that's how the CMO came and had guidelines strictly against the school management, and the principal was sacked. But that's not something which we are looking, right? This is a case which was brought to a limelight, and we recently had the similar case in Noida. Similar case where background check was not done. If you have heard recently, maybe a week back or something, same situation. So that means by this one case also, nobody learned. At least the school should have become vigilant. School should have, if they have not done the background check, they should have started it, right? No, they did not do. And still there will be schools still, waiting. And hopefully, I don't say that, but something wrong goes with them. Because as an institute, the school is a protector after the house for the kids. Yeah. Even for the parents, we send the kids, but it's become like now doubtful in such a kind of situation where, the school is not taking those kind of, and see, it's not that you have to put your tips or you need to do something. You have a guidelines in place. You just need to follow it in spirit. You need to understand that it is something very serious. And in daily routine, you just have to get the things checked, background check of the staff which are supporting, which are around the kids, the teachers, yeah, and other things which have been mentioned in the guidelines. So that's how the most important thing, CCTV camera. Just to share an example, the school don't allow. Are you all aware this school don't allow parents the CCTV camera? Has anybody faced such a thing? Where parents have been denied the access of cameras, CCTV cameras? Because I have faced in the school where I asked for clippings of a particular date within the time and all, and they denied that, no, we cannot share this with the outsider. That's the more concerned situation. If you have a CCTV, then you know what they do? They will check internally. And if something is wrong, which will hurt their brand image of the school, they will never share with the parents, right? So here it has been strict, and taking it forward, there would be committees which will be there to monitor all these guidelines. So that's the outcome which is mentioned in the slide, how they needed to take care. CCTV cameras of the school were not functioning. Can you imagine? You put it as a showpiece and it's not functioning. In fact, cameras are something which you should check daily. If not daily, then at least alternate days, because technically it can go wrong, or somebody can do malfunctioning with that if the intentions is wrong, right? So it's very important when you as parents, why these all things matter, because you can also start this initiative in your respective school and check with them even while dropping the kids to the security, where the cameras chal rahe hain kya, they're working. Simple things from your angle, if you put up, then they also become cautious that no, parents are checking, they are aware, so let us be vigilant also, we need to answer them. So that's the way, it will be a pressure from the parent side once they become aware of all this thing, and the school would need to execute it in their own way and follow the guidelines, and we would be in a situation where things will be in a protective zone. We will be a preventive, we will do a prevention for all, and hopefully we don't face such kind of gruesome cases in future. That's how we need to work on. As I already shared with you the facts of the cases, and how it went, and how the CMO has issued instructions to install the cameras. The Sakhi Savitri committees need to be formed in the schools, where they would be checking on the overall awareness, not only about sexual abuse or something, but they would be checking on all the part protection awareness. The most important thing, complaint box. Okay, when we say as parents we need to have complaint boxes in place because the guideline also requires them, then that is the time when they would put. Now recently I heard from my kids that they have put a complaint box. Of course the kids also needs to be made aware that what complaint they need to put, not that this boy bait me complaint. Okay, so that's not the kind of complaint it is there. They need to be, because now good touch, bad touch, and everything has been expressed and taught in school, so they can build a rapport and explain that something which hurts you all, something which you cannot share with others, your friends or teachers, that is something which you need to put as a complaint in the box. They can create that kind of a rapport. The security, the staff, the support staff which are there, they are required to be made aware. Now, one of the school which I went recently when we were doing POCSO session, they were not so serious about the POCSO session unless the teachers came to know after the presentation how important it was for them to realize what it is. And there was a team of support staff, didis and dadas and the security people sitting. Now, they would, I talked with them in their language, that is Hindi, Marathi, and I ask them ki y'all are the very important people who would protect our child. So आप यहाँ बैठे हो, आपको पता होना चाहिए आपका रोल कितना इम्पोर्टेंट है हमारे लिए. टीचर्स का तो है ही, क्योंकि वो हमारे बच्चों को एजुकेट करते हैं, लेकिन आप हो जो you all look after them, you all take care for them, so you all are very important. And that's how I tried to explain them कि उनको क्या जानना जरूरी है, या उन्होंने कुछ देखा सुना, they are required to share it with the respective heads or teachers, not to get scared. Because ultimately अगर आप कोई ऐसा केस सुनोगे आपके स्कूल का या आपके अंडर ऐसा हो गया, आपको बहुत बुरा लगेगा, right? So they really became that sensitive, and believe me, they were emotional, and they said we never felt that important as you made us feel that no, our role is very important. Yeah, so that's how we can sensitize. And they literally were in so emotional moment that things go wrong, and we really don't realize. So that's how you can connect with them. Now, as we should be having, according to the POCSO guidelines, we need to have certain committees in place in the school, right? So one is the POCSO committee, there is an internal committee, and now one more committee which has been required is the Sakhi Savitri committee, which is now introduced in the schools. And after the specifically in Maharashtra, it has been introduced that they need to have this kind of committee. This committee would have representative from the school management. They would have representative from the PTA, that is Parents Teachers Association. There is a collaboration, and you can be on that committee because you will be representing the parents. I am a PTA and I have requested for this kind of committee and for us to be part of it. Now, even for that matter, senior students which are there, they can represent the students also if they have a concern. So in and all, this is a committee formed for, checking on the overall awareness about school. It's basically introduced in Maharashtra for the time being. Then how the background check needs to be done, how the school should hire the staff, what care they need to take when they are teaching. They should conduct training sessions, not only for the teachers, but also for the support staff, where they can explain how things are, how POCSO as a criminal act can punish people, how serious it is. Police have been very, very vocal to provide required support. And we have experienced that in Navi Mumbai, where police were always there with us to get us introduced and give us a platform to express it. So it has been a very important committee. Even for that matter, you know that children's travel, right? Schools are not just the next door. So the travel, the transport which is there, the didi which is there, the driver which is there, they need to be sensitized, because you cannot hand over the child to anybody at the gate. They need to be aware. Initially it was, koi hai, le jaiye. But now for me, if I am not there at the gate, didi calls me and says, आप नहीं है, किसको हैंड ओवर करना है बच्चे को, या मुझे जाके अंदर छोड़ना है. That is the sensitization it should have. It's very serious that you leave the kid at the gate and don't know who is standing, who is observing. Yeah, so it's very important, and the committee is there to take care. Even for that matters, doctors are there, counselors are there. Counselors also play a very important role. Now in the school, they have a counselor who supports them, because a child nowadays are very sensitive to small things. It's not necessary about the abuse only, but it's about anything they feel bad, something where they could not contribute, somebody shouted at them for some reason, they become sensitive, and then that falls on them. Means it affects their nature, it affects their studies, it affects the overall activities. So the counselors are there to help them, to hear them out, because not child will not open up to everybody. If teachers and the child has a very beautiful rapport relationship, they will come back, because there would be some favorite teachers, and with them they will be very cuddly and they will go there and talk to them and all, right? So this is a committee where you'll have different kind of representative. They are there to protect, create preventive measures and safety measures. Yes.
Ma'am, just wanted to know, would you like me to continue in this way, or should I shift it to slideshow mode?
Slideshow mode would be helpful.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. The next slide. Yeah. So here, now we would like to share some data which we have gathered, that, it has become, child abuse has been so serious that this is the data which we would like. In 15 minutes, somewhere, some place in India, a child is facing the abuse. This is the 90% of the child abuse nowadays, as I was sharing with you, that it is not from some stranger, it is from some known person also. So this is the way we need to sensitize. This is the way we have to sensitize ourselves, create awareness, and how important it has become to not only protect your child, but to protect others also from such kind of abuse. The child rape cases are rising. See the way it has 96%, which has gone up. It's really, really not so good data, but we need to share with you all because it's something which you all need to be aware about. As we were talking about when the introduction happened, it is not gender specific. When we understand it is something girl child, girls ko aisa hua, girls ko waisa hua. No, now it is gender neutral. Sexual abuse can be with anybody. It could be with the girl or it could be with the boy. Here, I would like to add something to you, which has been not a good experience, but personal. So, but I have to share with you. I have twins, that is a girl child and a boy child. They are 9 years old. And one day, what happened? My son came. Usually, they come and talk to me of what things happened. School mein ye hua, wo hua. Now, one fine day evening, when I came from office, he was trying to tell me that, Mummy, something. Ye ladke ne aisa kiya hai. I was not hearing it, but then I took a pause and said, "What happened?" So he was telling about a boy who was used to, had that bad habit of pulling the pants. Okay. And one or twice I said, you should tell him this is bad habit, ye wo. But then that day, what happened? He had gone to wash his hand in the bathroom, and the other guy came from behind and he pulled his pant fully. Can you imagine the shock he was in? He looked back and, there was a trauma in his eyes when he was expressing it to me. And he said, Mommy, I could not understand how to react. And I was stuck. And the immediate thing which came to my mind, nobody was around you. You were alone in the bathroom. He said, yes, Mama, that time nobody was there. And then the boy said, sorry, by mistake. I was just thought my friend is, and he ran away. But then I stopped there. It was 10:30 at night. I put mails to all the principals and everybody that this is a case and this needs to be taken it up. And that's where the principal and all came up and said, no, we will be talking to the parents and everything. I said, see, I'm not here to punish the child. There's no intention. But if you don't stop the child now that this is a bad habit, it would lead to serious crimes in future, because the child will not understand it is bad unless somebody with an authority tells them. It could be their parents, it could be their teachers, it could be somebody authoritative who explains in a way that they understand. And believe me, I made sure that I followed up, because the school will take it up, but that I was aggressive. I followed up. I said, no intention of punishing the child. Talk to the parents. Explain the importance of that. Yeah. And then I got the feedback. I was taking it everyday follow-up. So they gave me a feedback that the child's parents were called and that they were explained that this needs to be taken care. Then counseling was done of the child. Okay, so it's not necessary that the girl child's face it; it's the boy child also. And how it goes, and he was traumatized for some days. Of course, now things are fine. The boy must have realized because there has been no further complaints there. So that's the way I was just trying to put it forward. There is something which the boys face. Why? Because we usually Indians, they say, talk that boys don't cry. Are you crying like a girl? Why so? I never put this statement to my boy. I never put, because boys have all the rights to cry and express. They cannot, withhold their tears. And no, I have made that comfort with my son that no, if you're hurt, you have to express. If he is hurt, he expresses, he cries. I never put that statement. Are you a girl? No, because it's not gender specific to cry, right? So it's something which we say, masculinity is there, boys are strong, this, that. We create an environment where boys are not supposed to talk about it. They are strong, they don't need any help. Then boys can be, if we don't stop them, they either they can be a victim or they can be the preparators, right? They can try later on creating, or they fall prey to the crimes and they become one of them. So we need to, what is very important, and recently as Supreme Court, and we have also on our platform tried to share that it's very, very important to educate the boy child, to respect the girl child. It could be not only mother, sister, auntie, uncle. other friends also, other girls also. My whenever the girls come to my place who are friends of my daughter, I always tell my son, it's not only that you should not deal with your sister like that. It's with no girl you should deal like that. You should talk like that. So it's very important that if we want a good society, when we are teaching our girls to take care, create awareness, we need to teach our boys also to create, a plan, what do you say, a thought process, which is that girls are equal, they are just girls, there is nothing different, and to respect them, right? So it's very, very important to raise our boys also, and we as mothers, we have got this opportunity, so let's try it and raise our boys to respect all women. And I'm sure if we all take this kind of small measures which starts from our residence or from our home, it will lead to a very safe environment for all of us, and we would not be needed to talk on this subject, right, Sayana? We need not talk on this kind of subject, right? So the kind of the data which has been showed, like, the pending POCSO cases which are there, because of which now police have also started, acting on it and taking help of different kind of professionals and getting things, creating awareness, part of awareness. Because when I'm talking a lot of awareness, what I mean is that if you're aware, you would protect your child, you would protect whom you know, then you would go as different platforms which you all meet, meet and greet meetings happen, school, as a PTA member or whatever, you would tell, no, this is what it is, and we need to take care. Yeah. So this is what we are aiming at for creating through our platform and sharing knowledge with you. So just participants, is it that I'm going too fast, or is it that it's going okay? If somebody could voice it from the participants.
It's going okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. So that's the kind of data which we wanted to share with you. And next slide. Yeah. Now, there have been so many cases which are there. And of course, I am not saying that you all will be going and reading them, but there are so many cases which have gone wrong. And now it's not about the age. It could happen to 1-year child. It could happen to no age. Means now people have gone to that kind of cruelty where age is not something a newborn can also face. And we have heard such kind of cases where newborn has also faced something, and it's from somebody known. You feel, yeah, ये बच्चा इनके साथ खेल रहा है, let them play and all. नहीं, आप भी ध्यान रखो कि बच्चा खेल रहा है, बट क्या खेल रहा है, कौन उनसे कैसे खेल रहा है, and taking them away for some good time and all. No, as far as possible, considering the environment which we are living, don't leave the child unattended. Like, we need to create that kind of safety. We need to follow, monitor where the child is. It should be somewhere around us where we can have check with them, or make them aware that, you need to protect themselves. One of the things I told my daughter, and she told me when she was in the society, and an uncle from the first floor had dropped something, and she and her friends were there, and that uncle said, come and give me that paper or something. So my child told, Saloni told the friend, no, do you know that uncle? We'll give it at the security. Uncle can come down and take. So I was happy. The basic thing, she knew that she's not supposed to go to anybody's house who she's not aware. So I was very happy that these are the small things which, if we are not there always, right? So if they can take care about themselves, it's very important. Now, when we see this kind of cases, these are all the remote places which have happened. When we talk, in the cities, such things happen. No, it's not like that. In villages also things happen. And these are a few cases, if you could see and read out that how gruesome it was, having a gang rape, or, things were going wrong. Yes, Saina? Few more cases where things went wrong, and they faced this child abuse. And one of the cases was the boy also. When we talk about gender neutrality, see, the boy also faced such kind of things, and we cannot even think what after effects they have when they have fixed, because nobody was there to take care or protect them. But here we are. Yes. Is it okay, or you want me to explain the cases, or you can go through the slide? Anybody from the participants, if they can just raise it, like the cases, you all can read it, right? Yes.
Yeah, it is readable.
Yeah. So, there are special kids also. When we say special kids, they sometimes we feel, they don't understand anything, and we either they face this child abuse, or there was a case in Indore where they faced the child abuse, and there was a case which again the person who was special with special needs also had a case to rape somebody else. So it's holistically very, very, very sad situation, where we cannot say that kids with special needs also don't have that kind of urge or something. They have also faced such a abuse in their life. Yes. Okay. Now, just coming back to the POCSO Act, where I'll just summarize what we were discussing. It is child. It's gender neutral. It is for the girl child. It is for the boy child, and it recognizes the girls and boys, because it is, when we use the word child, it is below 18 years. So anybody, any child facing the abuse who are at the age below 18, they would be considered under POCSO Act. Makes criminal justice system friendly. How? That we will try to explain in the other slides, where the police is supporting, protects children from the offenses, whether it is sexual assault, sexual harassment, or pornography. These are the topics or the things which have been properly defined in the act, what they are in depth. Then what are the severe punishment if such a thing happens? What are the punishment which is encountered by the people who are supposed to be the creators of this? And okay. Okay. Now, as I shared with you all, there have been definitions for sexual assault, penetrative sexual assault, aggravative penetrative sexual assault, sexual harassment, and child pornography. They have defined what it is, what the child faces, and the abuse which are there. Now, when it is penetrative, or it is something related, when we talk about our body, we talk about penetration. And when they say aggravated penetrative, this has been defined. I would like to say this is connected with people who are with authority, that is the government officials, army, police. They are talking about them, that if that has been created by them, then it is more so they have a different kind of punishment. And that's how they have defined sexual assault and different things under the act. Now, when we say a child faces a sexual assault, it is when somebody is, touching or talking to the person in with the sexual intent, that something related to that kind of intention, they approach the child. Okay, so that has to be not necessarily physical, because we usually considered with sexual abuse means physical. So they went, and when we talk, the preparators who come, they will talk to them something which the child will not understand per se, right? They will come and ask us, if at all they are having that kind of comfort with us, then some gestures which are there, which a child will not understand and will fall prey to it, right? But as when we explain the child friendly way, when as a parent we say that you need to take care on all this aspect, then the child will be aware and take actions and come to us and tell that no, this uncle or this person was doing such kind of act, showing pornography on the phone. It could be anybody, the some people sitting in the garden calling the child, come, I'll show, and they start with the cartoons and everything, and then it leads something else, that kind of a situation. It's really, you don't know, you're sitting in the garden, like you're a parent, your child is playing, and you will be okay, and then you'll be surfing, and then there'll be some uncle and say, hey kuchu, how are you, what are you, come, I'll show you some cartoons which you will like. they will show the cartoons, along with that something else also. And that time the child is like, what is it? And believe me, we cannot even think of the sentiments or the things which will blow their mind. Okay, so there would be some tips at the later part where you would try to protect your child from such a situation. And things we can. And the most important thing, you should be aware who is dropping to the school as far as possible. I know working parents have that difficulty, but if y'all can, please try to drop your child. It could be anybody from y'all. Yeah, so it's very important, because there would be in your absence somebody stalking them. It could be physically or on the media. That could happen, right? So now when it is child pornography also, your child, the child could be included in that by showing them something, or unfortunately the child is made part of the pornography. Yeah, nowadays, initially when our generation, we never faced or thought such kind of thing can exist, but today it has been too much media exposure, too much. We don't know how the people are, what is going on in their brains. They would look very normal people, but we don't know what is going within them and what action they will take, right? So they are these are the punishable offenses. Just to have a snapshot of the offenses: minimum imprisonment ranging from 3 to 20 years, depending on the severity of the case. Means how severe the cases is. Minimum imprisonment is that. Life imprisonment is also there. Fines is there, where something very minutely, when something happens and we warn the person and still the fine takes place. It's both. There has been death penalty also. We are yet to face such a kind of justice in terms of death penalty. But just to share, in Badlapur case, yes, not the right way or whatever way it is, but there was an encounter which has done, ultimately it was considered, or maybe general public considered it as a death penalty. So that's how things are. When now we talk about, it is a criminal law and how it needs to be approached. So how we need to report the cases, right? When there is in sex, yeah. Anybody? Okay. So when an act happens of a child abuse, it's a criminal offense. Okay. Either you yourself as a parent, or whoever is there who has come to know or are aware about it, can file the case. Yeah, it could be to your local police where there is a cell for the child abuse, or it could be a special police station which is there in your vicinity, which is concerned with special juvenile police unit, because juvenile act also comes into play in this kind of situation, right? So and there is a possibility also where certain acts happen in a hotels, clubs, or anywhere other places than your house. Then the people, the staff which are there, who became aware about such kind of abuse, they can also register the cases on behalf of the child. The child, if at the age right age where it can express himself, can also register the case. And the most important thing, you can make the child understand that there is a helpline also. Nowadays, it's so important that, firstly, I used to think that how to make them remember the number, but it was so easy number which they have tried to introduce is 1098. It should be known to every child, because numbers are something which we teach them from junior, senior KG, right? So one thing is your number, cell number, and this kind of number. Other helplines are also there, which are there like the 100, or according to the state, which have been introduced for the safety measures. We need to teach our children this kind of helpline, because everywhere, whenever this situation happens, these is something which you can take help. The child itself can protect himself from this crime which takes place. Now, taking it forward, usually there is time limit for everything under the Limitation Act. Okay, when in the criminal law, civil law, there is usually time limit. But when POCSO, because it's so special, it has been introduced in a way that it doesn't have a timeline. Like something happens 5-10 years back, you still can report it. Yes, there would be little more efforts because you need to prove, you need to create the evidence, but it can be reported. There is a open door which has been given by the act that whenever it happens, because it's a heinous crime, it's so serious that you cannot close doors that nahi 5 साल के बाद या 10 साल के बाद आप रिपोर्ट नहीं कर सकते, right? So it's very important that there's no timeline to that. The most important thing is as far as possible, try to protect the child's identity or respective parents' identity, because once that is you know how it is, when that is out, people say ye iski galti hogi, iski mummy aise chhod ke gayi, iska papa ne aise kiya. You know, people try to create a situation where other people get brainwashed that, you know, from the focus from the child abuse, it goes to something else. Right? Do you agree to that? Because so it's very important that confidentiality is there about the child and things have happened. I agree with you that, you know, it's very, very difficult to maintain that, but we should try to maintain. Now, POCSO is a act where, you know, non-reporting is also penalized. Right? Before, like, you know, if I say no, mujhe nahi batana yaar, mere ko isme sab mein nahi padna, I don't want to fall in this and all. So what happens? No, if they come to know that you were aware and you did not report, there is an offense. There is a punishable offense where we say, except the child, because if that child is not able to convey it, then he is not punishable, he or she is not punishable, but other people. So non-reporting is also a punishable offense. Along with that, false reporting, you know, just to revenge somebody, you create a situation, because now POCSO is known to people and it is such a strong act that, you know, you can play with it. So there have been cases where I just remember one of the cases where a lady, you know, blamed the neighbor that he did something to the child and filed an FIR under POCSO. Okay, and he was a professor. Sorry, he was a professor, and you know, he was there in the jail for 23 days, and he faced those interrogation. You can understand what that person must have gone through. When it was malicious, it was false, and then with evidence, it was proved that the lady was just trying to take revenge for some family dispute and all. That's sad, isn't it? So, you know, the acts can also come to that level. Here, I also want to take and pause and tell you that you can also watch the movie of Manoj Bajpayee, which is that, you know, Ek Aadmi Kafi Hai. Try to watch that, because it is basically explaining the POCSO Act and how he implemented, how he got it executed. It also talks in nitty-gritty under what rules. You know, the movie is made so beautifully that any common man or person watching that movie can understand POCSO. So I would take this, because usually we like to watch Hindi movies or any type of movies and we relate to it, right? So do watch this movie, and it is a fantastic movie where POCSO has been explained in detail, and the person gets a punishment, and it is shown very nicely. Now coming back to grievance redressal mechanism, where NCPCR is the authority which monitors the POCSO Act. Okay, basically it's in Delhi, and it makes sure that their guideline reaches to everybody at the state level. Then comes the state level people, where the commission, you know, circulates to the guidelines to the schools, to the places, to the authorities which are supposed to execute the guidelines which have been introduced by NCPCR under POCSO Act. Now, NCPCR has gone ahead and also tried to create an e-box, which is very child-friendly. This can be introduced in the school when you're, you know, when the school teachers are expressing good touch, bad touch, and everything. So this is a e-box which you can explain to the child, and it's very simple. Yes. Now, what they have done, they have created picture, because sometimes what happens? Just a second. Yeah, sometimes what happened that the child will not be able to express, because the child will be very confused कि मेरे साथ हुआ क्या है, Yeah, so they have tried as far as possible. They have depicted the pictures कि किसने किया है, some old age person, some known person, school में हुआ है, social media पे आपको कोई track कर रहा है, school bus, transport people, somebody known to your house coming, some person on the phone, so they have tried to depict it through the picture, and the child can point out or click that option, and then it can go further. So ये इतना comfort दिया गया because majority यही कहीं हुआ होगा, कोई भी incidents कुछ हुआ होगा इसी दायरे में हुआ होगा, right? They have tried later on to explain, and they've gone ahead and put your names, put the details, who is trying to register it. What happens usually, sometimes parents don't want to do it. Then here, if the teacher is aware, if somebody from the school is aware, and feels that the child is going through real trouble, it can also do this e-box registration. It can, because they have the name, the details, and the data. What has happened is the next slide, where they try to explain in brief what has happened with the child and submit it. And believe me, NCPCR have been very vigilant, very active in taking actions against this situation. They will probe it, they will take help of the police, and they will go ahead and, get it monitored. They would make sure that what went wrong, and they would make sure that things have been checked from all angles, because there is a complaint which has come right online. So it's very important for you all to understand the importance. I have tried to explain what it has to be, what you'll need to be aware about it, and I hope I have set the platform for Sayana to take it forward with the nitty-gritty which she will try to explain, and we will try to understand from her tips, her experience. I would just like to briefly introduce her. Just a second. Okay. Sayana's profile is very interesting. Sayana Dutta is highly accomplished and versatile HR professional with 14 years of experience in across different industries. She has been working with good big brands. She has taken a lot of training programs, program and sessions, over 1,300 individuals with prestigious companies. And she's a POCSO and a POSH trainer, POSH expertise. She has done it in other with other companies, and now she has also started POCSO training with. She started with the societies. She's part of our torch bearers, so that's how we had then. We had an assignment that time. We remember that we should introduce this with our societies, and that's how she's been very, very active in this field, and she has made sure that she reaches at the ground level. As an HR advisor and strategist, Sayana excels in helping companies scale their HR functions. Sayana's role as an independent external member of ICC committee that is under POSH has given her, trustworthiness in handling the sensitive workplace issues also. Overall, Sayana's dynamic knowledge and social conscious HR professionalism and strategic thinking with practical implementation skills will help us sail through this session also with all practical tips which she will share with us. Thank you, Sayana. Welcome to the session.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was a wonderful introduction. So it's been like 1 hour, 15 minutes, team, since we have started the session.
Yes.
So 5 kids have been already sexually abused by the data as we are talking. Things are very, very dismal, I tell you. Okay. We don't wait for children to actually get raped or molested. In rare cases, these things happen at the first go. Okay. Very unfortunate, rare cases, it happens. But most of the abuses through a systemic process keeps happening over a period of time. And we as parents, as guardians, we need to be alert. Okay. We have to ensure that our conversation is flowing all the time. All right. You cannot do one isolated session and rest aside that, I've done it. My child is safe. I'm safe. I'm an aware parent, I'm an aware guardian, or an aware teacher, I'm done. No, it never happens in that way. It's years of oppressions, years of misogyny, which has creeped in our system, and that has to be systemically removed and erased. So having one-time conversation with your child will never make them safe. Okay, neither for the schools will it make it safe that once in a year we call all parents, tell them, oh, we are POCSO compliant, oh, we have done this, we have done that, and we are safe. No, it will not. It is a practice, it's a philosophy. Just like POSH, we have quite a few POSH trainers here. Just the way we inculcate the culture of removing unconscious biases regarding in regards to various marginalized communities, this is also a process which has to be inbuilt within our whole society, be it children, teachers, parents. Okay, so the conversation has to be flowing. Okay, and I'll come up with many practical tips, of course. Sexual abuse, it's gender neutral, as ma'am said, and it can be an unwelcome behavior and makes the child uncomfortable. Now, how do you know that your child is becoming uncomfortable? You have to create those boundaries around your child to make them know that if these kinds of things are happening to you, you are supposed to respond uncomfortably to it. Now, suppose a child who is always in a situation where they get to see their parents are changing in front of them, their friends are showing their private parts while visiting toilet. It's not an uncomfortable thing for them, right? How do you create that boundary? So first and foremost, if you have not done it yet with your children, okay, go and explain to them the GTBT rules, the good touch and bad touch rules. Okay, it is very important that you first and foremost do this and explain it to them, that what is a good touch and what is a bad touch. Okay, good touches can include holding the hand, giving a hug, giving a kiss on the forehead or a cheek. Okay, bad touches can include use the swimsuit rule to explain the places where they are not supposed to touch you. Okay, except for your parents. Even as parents, you should slowly as your child grows, start taking their permission, to create that boundary that this is how we are touching you. And since I'm your mother, I'm your father, hence I'm doing it. No one else is allowed to do this to you. Okay, is that clear to you? Keep setting up permissions and boundaries. Even though you are their primary caregiver, still you need to have these conversations around them. Then they will start knowing what is unwelcome, what is uncomfortable. Unless you set the boundaries in the home, you're having a regular conversation with your child on these terms, they will never understand what is welcome and what is unwelcome. Okay? Types of child sexual abuse. Can be touch, can be comments, can be gestures, can be online, can be mental. Okay? So all have to be explained with examples. Okay? Touch, you can do a verbal, physical touch session with them to explain what kind of touches are not welcomed. Verbal, you have to tell them what kind of abusive language, what kind of sexual talks is not okay. Okay, non-verbal. Show certain gestures, like if any stranger is showing their private parts to you or trying to show or blow a kiss to you, these kinds of gestures are not okay. They are unwelcome. So that, you open the door for your child to come and tell you that this uncle or that auntie has been doing that to me, and arm your child with the empowerment, the knowledge they need to go and protest. They can, children can literally embarrass strangers in various weird ways in public. Okay, if you arm your children with that knowledge, they will go and tell the strangers that you are doing something bad. I do not approve that. Okay, so give that empowerment to your child by talking on all these things in future. Take some time. You don't have to load them with everything at one point of time. Take it and stretch it over a period of time, but keep discussing it. Okay. Online is something I'm sure most parents will relate to. You have a tab which you have given to your kid, or a mobile. specifically dedicated to your child. Okay, and they are watching something. Maybe you have put in child friendly controls in there. Okay, but at times links pop up, many things pop up, and they can inadvertently press on it, and that can lead them to certain pornographic site or something which is very gross and not at all age appropriate for them. All right, so you as parent, since you must be having a common Wi-Fi, keep a check on the history. Don't trespass on your kid right away. Let me see what exactly are you watching. Never do that. But keep a check on them by scrolling their history, that what are the things which they have opened. Okay, cookies and every stuff that they are opening and they are checking, so that you know what are the things that is keeping your child busy these days. Because youngest to adolescent kids are now exposed to digital media, and in this age, saying that don't give them digital media space, don't give them digital screen time, is probably not okay, because everything has been digitized in this world, and India has taken leaps and bounds of steps to grow more digitized. So you cannot keep your son or your daughter completely out of reach from the digital media. But what you can do is monitor their steps, find out what are they into. Okay, all right. Ma'am, it would be very helpful, since I'm looking at the PPT, if you can let me know if someone is raising a hand, and I can take a question. Okay?
Sure.
Thank you. All right. Next is psychological. All right. Your child may not realize that what is happening to them in school or in online class or in any activity area where you have enrolled them is not okay, and it is slowly created anxiety. Why? Because you as a parent have not told them that whatever is happening with you is not okay and is not acceptable. Okay, so they are suffering from this anxiety just because they're too young and they didn't know whether this is right or wrong, and yet they are uncomfortable and not creating the channels to come and disclose it to you. Okay, so it becomes very, very important as guardians and parents that we keep our doors open, so that they come and tell you whether what they are feeling is something which you as a parent can validate or not. Okay, any questions? Because I'm now going to go into a sexual grooming topic, and you need to listen a little intently on that. Any questions? I can take it.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes, please, your name.
Tanishka.
Tanishka, please go ahead with your question.
So I wanted to ask that, teenagers are very stubborn with their privacy.
Yes.
So so if they're online and they're using any third-party apps which are not configured properly, so is it okay for them to keep a password on their phone and not tell their parents? Because everything is not survey, मतलब आप सब चीज उसको देख नहीं सकते online पे.
Yes, I
understand.
I understand. So in such a case, if they are already a teenager, it's quite on the mature side, and you cannot handle them the way you would have handled a primary school kid. Okay, their privacy has to be respected. What you can do is, even in our groups also, we will be sharing various videos on awareness, and you can sit them down and randomly say that there are certain things as parents we want to express our concern. Okay, we respect your privacy, and we want to discuss with you, because if you have not been his or her friend yet, maybe this is a good time when you can initiate those conversations and ensure that you will not judge them. The moment a teenager realizes that mama and papa are stepping up their game to put a surveillance on me, they might start hiding things from you. Okay, so the key is have open conversation. Okay, you say that there are things now that you are growing up, and I will feel comfortable if we discuss about those things. And who knows, you may also learn something from them this time. They are in Gen Z, they are alpha, so they might teach us also one or two things. Yeah, so go with a very open mentality, so that there is an open discussion. Don't expect if they are doing something wrong, they will just simply tell you on the first go. That will never happen. Okay, you have to establish and foster that bond with them, where they will slowly, after understanding that yes, my parents are chill, I might have a conversation with them, they will start opening up to you. All right, did I help clear your doubt?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, is there any more question? I heard one more sound.
Yeah,
Ma'am,
Ayushi.
I have a question. Like
Your
when
name please, because I'm not
Ayushi Dikshit.
Ayushi, yes, yeah, Ayushi, please tell me.
Ma'am, like what happens, like there are sometimes not a kind of an sexual abuse which is forceful, like as you talking about sex education with children, it is like parents hesitate to talk about these things with children, like where once their kids enter into teenage space, like they should talk about everything, like even if they are having an intercourse, how to prevent unwanted pregnancies and all. But most of the time what happens, and even the boys and girls don't know, that having a sexual intercourse with a minor woman, even when the male is also a minor, is rape, even when it is consensual. So this should also be taught by in POCSO things, like so that below 18 boys don't suffer.
Absolutely, you're totally right. It has to be. So these are certain things when we do student sensitization session or even POSH session when we are talking in workplaces, we address these kinds of things that don't become an offender. Okay, a perpetrator is someone who is doing it with a wrong intention, maliciously trying to gain advantage over a person who is at a disadvantaged position than you. But an offender is an unintended person. They don't even know that what they are doing can land them in a problem, and a sensitization session in schools at an early age will prevent them from growing into one, be it a girl, be it a boy. Okay, that you cannot, even when it is consensual below 18, it is not considered as consensual. Okay, so it is very clear that you cannot consider having intercourse and take no responsibility about it.
Ma'am, and even with in case there a girl is like more than 18, but she's mentally challenged, like for an example autistic and all, even then like it is going to be considered rape, because she comes under the definition of child under
Yes,
diet.
because initially it will be registered, but then maybe after it gets proved that he or she has been mentally challenged, the case can take a different direction. But why land yourself in that trouble? That the whole idea about talking about this session is prevention, be it uh, POSH, be it POCSO. It's all about prevention. We don't wait for the crime to happen. We should be aware so that we can initiate those checks. And despite of taking those checks, you will find moment when you can feel betrayed, that despite of having these conversations with my child, he has again gone and done something offensive. It happens, I tell you, it happens, and you should keep at it. You cannot stop it, and you have to keep going at it. It is a process.
Sayana, one thing I just wanted to share with Ayushi is, Ayushi, there has been a case similar to what you were trying to explain, is where, the girl was under 18 and the boy, for a change, was 22. There has been a case where, and the family they were not agreeing to their relationship. It wasn't, they had love and all, but the family was not agreeing to that, and they went and registered a case against the boy under POCSO. Okay. But initially, as we say now, the case was registered and all the evidence are under POCSO. But later on, it was proved that the intentions were different. So these are also such type of cases which come up when the consensus are there, but they take help and they register under POCSO.
Ma'am, I want to say one more thing about, like when we are giving POSH and POCSO sessions, so we should also make sure we talk about the misuse, and adequate punishment should also be given to the people who misuse it. Because like I recently saw a case in court, like what happened, like there was the university, a government university, in which a female professor filed a POSH case against his senior, and it was nothing related to sexual harassment. She had personal grudge with him. She also said that because of him harassing her sexually, she had a miscarriage and all. And after all that, the investigation, we came to know that the case is totally malicious. But the IC still didn't want to punish the woman by saying that she has already like lost her child and she's in so much trauma. But at the same time, the accused, like his daughter used to study in the same college, so she had to suffer a lot by the image that his father is sexually abusing. And the man who's like 20-25 years of reputation has been at stake, because people look at him with different eyes, like somebody who is a sexual abuser. So I think the misuse should also
misuse is there, and for those kinds of things, I think for POSH especially, if you keep a gender neutral policy in place, an anti-sexual harassment policy, a similar thing can be done for POCSO also. But abhi hum log jis sthiti mein hai, we have not even initiated dialogue for POCSO especially. Okay, and today, if I give all of you one exercise before we move on to the sexual grooming segment, just Google, all of you, okay? Pending POCSO cases in India. All of you, just Google it, please. Pending POCSO cases in India. Please someone tell me what is the number that you can see. Anyone? You'll see a data as on May 2024. What is the total number of POCSO cases pending?
More than 2.43 lakhs cases under POCSO.
2.53, ma'am. Okay. As on May 2024. So, and this is in fast track trial courts. Fast track courts. Imagine.
And those which are reported, Sayana.
These are reported. These have been reported. Okay. So these might have been gross violation of a child's rights. Okay. But there are minor things which are where children are just suffering. These are certain things which have been just reported where things probably went out of control. Okay, imagine this number is waiting in the trial courts, and you think, and we all think that these are isolated cases. I don't think so. They cannot be isolated cases. We are surrounded by predators who are waiting to feed on your non-awareness, who are waiting to pounce on the situation, who are waiting to take advantage of the fact that you are not sensitized, your child is not sensitized. Many of you probably stay in complexes and housing communities, and there are culture where one child plays with the other, and they just simply go to the other person's home because they are so friendly. Both the child are absolutely green signal. There is no red alert about them. They are innocent like flowers. All right. But do we know each and every person who's there in their family? And do they have the right kind of etiquette where your child is not thinking in an otherwise way? What if he goes to play in someone's home and that person is changing? That person is making the friend also change in front of your kid. He comes with a giggle, she comes back with a giggle in your home, and you're embarrassed. She comes and tells you, why don't you do it? It is normal in that home. How do you handle these kinds of questions? It's all because we are not setting boundaries. So what you should do if you have small children who are going elsewhere, maybe online classes, maybe elsewhere where they are taking co-curricular activities apart from school, make them sit down, have a conversation with them. Did anyone do any back touch with you? Are the people good enough? They are dressing up properly. Are they keeping their privacy intact in front of you? If you keep this conversation going, the child will tell. The child will start telling you, and you can make informed decisions whether you should be sending your kid to that particular home or not. Okay? It's very, very important, because if you normalize these kinds of behavior, okay, there might be someone who is taking your child, slowly manipulating them with an ice cream, with a lollipop, with a Cadbury, and gaining their trust. And as ma'am said, slowly from a cartoon, it can shift to a porn. What is the intention? Intention is simply deranged mentality. Okay? They enjoy seeing the reaction of your children. Such people exist, and they exist in large quantities. Large quantities. We have mainly women who are here in this forum. I'm sure all of you do relate sometime or the other time in our childhood days, not even when we were in college, when we were in school, when we have taken public transport to travel. Just because we were kids, did anyone simply leave us? I don't think so. We have all faced groping, we have all faced staring, some point or the other. Okay, and not every place had a watchful auntie or a watchful uncle who protected us. We simply silently suffered, and it was such a normal thing that we probably didn't even come and tell our parents about it, because it's happening regularly. What's the big deal? You just need to learn how to protect themselves. Why do we want to expose our children to that environment again just because we had it? Aren't we supposed to be giving them a better environment? So have these conversations. If they're traveling somewhere, if they're going somewhere, come and ask them, what are you doing? What are you, what do they tell you? Are you comfortable going with them? Understand what is the level of trust that he or she is developing with those strangers. Okay. The moment you open up this conversation with you, the child will start telling you that this happened, that happened. It is happening. It will happen. I can tell you, but it will take some time. Like, if you haven't initiated those conversations with your little kid, do it. It will start showing you results within 6 to 7 months. Okay, but be at it. All right. So sexual grooming is a very dangerous thing, where the child is made to feel that you're in safe hands, and whatever we are doing to you, or the perpetrator and the child, whatever relationship that we are building, it's absolutely safe. You have nothing to worry about. You have absolutely nothing to worry about, which is a very dangerous thing. Okay, and in such cases, child will probably not even come to you and tell you what they have faced, because they know that uncle is good. He's more trustworthy than my father. He's more trustworthy than my mother. Though chocolate dengue, and in exchange, I have to perform, probably open my pants, probably open my shirt, and he's probably telling you that this is between the two of us. It's a secret game. Don't tell it to your parents. And he or she will not tell you. So be watchful. Keep having that conversation, and don't react when they come and tell you something disastrous which is happening. You have to systemically eradicate. Take the help of the cohort that we are building now, and have those discussions. All right. Stages of grooming: targeting the victim, gaining information, building trust. They just simply trying to know what is the nature of the kid, and they strategize, how long do I take for this kid to start into my action of making pornography or getting into any kind of sexual act. Okay. Online grooming, physical grooming. Online grooming, it's just the same thing. With whatever is happening physically can happen online, where someone befriends your kid and asks to switch on their camera and start undressing, show them stuffs which they are not supposed to see at this point of time. Okay. When you are exposing your child to online media, any kind of digital media, you have to be very vigilant, and you have to be very careful, and you have to bring anxiety level down. Most important. The other day, I realized my son who's 5.5 years old, was watching porn. Okay, and just through history cookies, I realized that he has been doing that, and he has been typing it. He has recently started learning how to write and type, and he has started saying it also over the speaker, that I want to see women getting undressed, boys undressing girls. Okay. Ideally, if I wasn't very much part of POCSO and all these things, I don't know how would I have reacted. But since I did it, I sat him down, told him that why were you watching it? Okay, well, what prompted you to watch it? So I realized that I'm to be blamed for it. Both me and my husband are to be blamed for it, because before he went to sleep, we were watching a Bollywood movie where there was an item number which has been played. He got ideas from there. Okay. And these are normal things, parents. Please understand. Children are exploring their bodies, their desires, and these kinds of curiosities are very normal. What to do in order to quell it or channelize this curiosity in a different way is what I'm trying to tell you. So I told the boy, and you can also tell if you find these kinds of things, that certain things are meant for parents. Don't tell them that porn is bad or love making is bad. Then you never know, when they grow up, they can get ideas that sex or anything like this is bad, which is not what we want. Okay, we need to raise responsible and sensible children. Okay, so don't tell them in this way that it is bad. What you tell them is, there are certain things which are age appropriate. There are certain things which are meant for adults and not meant for children. Okay, so why you shouldn't see it right now? Because similarly, when you learn addition, you were not taught addition and subtraction without being taught 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? First, you were taught 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you started understanding addition and subtraction. If we would have taught you addition and subtraction right at the beginning, then you wouldn't have understood. You would have been scared of addition and subtraction. Similarly, if you see or watch these kinds of content, you can get scared there somewhere, because you don't know many other things about it. You will. We are not telling you that it is wrong, but you have to wait. You have to wait. Everything, all kinds of information will come to you slowly and gradually. So be patient, trust your parents, and we wish that you will not watch this right now, because there can be certain things that can come to your screen which may not allow you to sleep. You may not feel good about it. Okay? So he understood a few more questions here and there, and it has stopped. So remember, children are curious. How you channelize their curiosity in right direction is what is important. And start taking responsibility. They are not to be blamed, and don't think that this is the end of the world. कि इसने ये देख लिया, he has seen this, she has seen that. Now how do I cater to it? Responsibly, one step at a time, and you are at it. Okay. Any questions?
Tanishka had.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so you said that obviously teenagers and kids are very curious about things. So the more parents try to restrict them from doing something, the more they get appealed towards it.
Yes.
So how do we approach that?
So you shouldn't be restricting when you do that, because you feel that he's doing something or she's doing something which is absolutely abominable. And if you try to stop it right away, I can guarantee you will fail, and you will fail miserably. Okay? You cannot do it. You can have conversation. You can share content with him or her slowly, so that the realization dawns on him. You cannot overnight change him, because they're already teenagers and you didn't have these conversations. Okay, they can start getting very, very peevy about it. They can get sulky about it, and that will result in something really wrong. So start sharing material, because he's a teenager, she's a teenager. I assume they will be open to reading stuff, and if it is coming not from you but coming from general media, which they have also access to, we will also share with you materials like that in future. You can share it with them, let them read, and let them get the idea that this is not a sermon which is coming from my mother or my father. It is a general thing which is prevalent and I need to be aware of. Okay. And slowly they might open up. They will slowly open up and talk to you about it. And you always keep your channels open. They shouldn't think that I cannot approach my parents or they will react. So as I said, you have to bring down your reaction levels. You cannot show shock reaction. You cannot show anxiety reaction. It's too late for that. Shouldn't do it. So since my son is very young, he kept on asking me that if I tell you the reason why I was watching, will you scold me? I said, no, I will not scold you. I'm just trying to help. And in other cases, I do scold him. So he was trying to ensure that safety. Okay. and that is very, very important. When he felt that it is okay to tell Ma, because Ma will not overreact, Ma will give me the scope, he opened up. What he requested instead from me is, you shouldn't be telling that I was watching this to any of the grandparents or my siblings or anyone else, which I have promised. But I'm taking the liberty to explain this to you as a parent to parent, and hence I'm discussing this with you. So don't put boundaries and don't put fetters in your child's way right away, even if you discover that he's into something really drastic. Okay.
Ma'am, I wanted to say something. Like,
Please.
I remember when I was in school and there were biology or psychology session classes in which they were talking about like reproduction or like psychological things, like in teenage getting attracted to peer to opposite sex and all. So like I don't know, like if anybody has watched the OMG 2 1 picture, like which was on sex education, and the makers wanted to show to teenagers, but the CBFC gave it a grade. So it is such a thing that people, especially if it is in schools, so our teacher will feel very shy to teach all this, and there are like students, especially boys, they will start laughing whenever like teacher is going
because
to
they sense your discomfort when teachers start the sessions on biology or the reproduction chapter, and they usually start with a statement that I want everyone to be serious, I want everyone to be very sincere, no giggling, no laughing. Why are you stating that? Instead, state that this is a very sensitive topic and we want you to open up, we want you to ask those questions, and there won't be any judgments attached, but we will see to it that they are taken up very, very responsibly. All right.
Sayana, Divija is here. Divija has joined
Divija.
us. Yeah. Welcome, Divija.
Ma'am, the thing, can I say?
Wait, we'll just come back to Divija. Divija, are you there?
Divija, it's on mute.
You're unmuting myself. Hi everybody. Hi Shilpa. Hi Sayana.
Hi.
Hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining this program. I had to be somewhere else, hence मैं आपके साथ join नहीं कर पाई थी. But I just took some time out to be a part of this, and feedbacks मुझे मिल रहे हैं regularly. Things are going well. I hope आप सब कुछ knowledgeable चीजें ले पा रहे हैं from our esteemed speakers, Sayana and Shilpa. So just a little bit, मैं बस बताना चाहूंगी. Hi Saloni, I can see you. Yeah, Poshshala इस तरह के programs regularly करता है, and especially child sexual abuse से related, POSH से related, because we would want to urge every parent and everybody who's attending this meet कि आप लोग अपने level पर जितने सवाल करेंगे, जितनी कोशिश करेंगे, probably we'll be able to create that environment for everyone. And currently हम लोग पॉशशाला पर more than 5,000 लोगों को sensitize कर चुके हैं, and आगे इसको torch bearership हम लोग कहते हैं, जहाँ पर हम लोगों को जब sensitize कर देते हैं तो you will take the baton ahead and take this source of information to your loved ones and to your children and to whosoever you would like to, because this is a continuous journey, and ऐसा नहीं है कि आज हमने ये बात की है तो ये बात यहीं पर खत्म हो जाती है. आप हर तरीके से इस चीज को जैसे भी आगे लेके जाना चाहते हैं आप जाएंगे. Plus you'll also be a part of our WhatsApp group, our community, so that you people get access to ample information on this, and also you get ample opportunities to be with us on the programs and other things that we do. Right? Thank you so much. Sayana, where are we? I mean, कितना बाकी है अभी? Because
no, we I've mostly covered most of the things, but we're just rushing through. Yeah.
Okay.
And there are questions also. Yeah.
Okay.
So, Ayushi, I'll take up a question, but let me just try to cover up the stuffs. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Thanks,
you, everyone.
Yes. So look, the marginalized kids are targeted more. When we say marginalized, we also mean people or children who are not attended by their parents much, and it doesn't have to be intentional. We know how busy work schedule is, and we don't want to do it intentionally, but these are the kind of kids who get neglected. So it is very important that you spare some time at the end of the day to have these conversations with your children, to find out what's happening around them. But first and foremost, start with GTP if you haven't. Okay. So these are indications of grooming. If they are talking about some man to you, okay, or a woman who was doing these kinds of things, secrets, gifts, toys, and you know that person, maybe it's a time you start with your son or your daughter to go and tell them that please don't do this. As per the protocols taught by my parents, I'm not supposed to accept it. Still, if it doesn't stop, yes, this is the time you have to step in and tell them that you need to stop this. I understand that you love my child a lot and you have developed a bond with them, but I'm so sorry. This cannot be accepted, and I would request or ask you to refrain from giving him these kinds of largesses. All right. So causes of child sexual abuse. Okay. I think I've already discussed all these things. Now, pedophiles. If you're not aware who are pedophiles, this is just to explain you. They have excessive interest in children and they take sexual pleasure by performing the same acts as they would have performed on an adult, on a child, because they feel children also enjoy it. This is a common psychology among pedophiles. Okay. So these are some of the identification of pedophiles. So there are people all across communities, schools. They can be in the form of educated people. They can be in the form of marginalized people. They can be maids. They can be helpers. Anyone who is trying to get little too cozy with your child. And please be aware, they get cozy with male and female, irrespectively. They do not choose in that way. All right. So you have to keep your guard up. So these are the predators. These are the sexual predators who come in your way: strangers, members, family members, caregivers, teachers. In fact, except for these strangers or family members and relatives, the last few, these caregivers, teachers, school authorities, if they are the ones who are perpetrating sexual crimes against children, this is what is considered, which ma'am also explained, aggravated sexual offense. Okay. And because they are coming from a place of trust, and when they break trust of your children, it is considered as a very, very offensive kind of a sexual offense. Okay. So suppose you're taking your child to a doctor, all right. Make sure if he or she is too small, you're not leaving them alone. All right. It has to be with a caregiver whom the child trusts. Never leave them alone. Okay. Why does the child hesitate to disclose sexual abuse? These are the things which are there. So by having the regular conversation with your child, you can let them know that there is nothing to fear. This is okay. Mama, Papa, or whoever is aware, the guardian, will take care of it. Unless until you establish that relationship with your child, they will not open up. They will silently suffer. If we had Dr. Nivriti here also, I'm sure she would have said that the kind of complaints that she receives, or even not child, gynecologists or obstetrics, these kinds of professions, doctors, they receive mentally abused, sexually abused children's complaints, where they come to know that the parents are not even aware what they have gone through. Only after examining that they find out the child has been suffering silently, maybe in the hands of some relative, maybe in the hand of some papa's friend or mama's friend. Yeah. And parents are not even aware. So ensure that you keep the channel open for them to communicate with you and talk to you. Okay. Role of parents, teachers, and caregivers. Okay. So it's very important that you allow the child to speak. Don't interrupt, because they are already victimized, they are traumatized. When they are explaining something which has gone strangely wrong with them, you have to allow them and ask them questions in a way, hey, do you remember what happened next? Do you remember? Can you recollect what happened? You can establish some synchronous activities which can have happened with the child, but do not interrupt or ask aggressive question like, did he touch you there? Did he touch you here? No, that's not, because this child has already gone through a lot. So your kind of questioning and interrogation can really put him in a spot. All right. So ensure that you're being very, very calm and nice as a caregiver when you're trying to find out if something has gone wrong with your child. Okay. These are certain responses that really matter, that I believe in you, I thank you, I trust you. Okay. Removing the guilt from them. Okay. If you don't tell me, you will not get this, you will not get that. No, never make use of such things. If you face real life scenario, please make use of our cohort, which is now there for you. We have doctors and experts who can help you out on this. Okay. But don't go in the wrong direction. That will shut your child forever. Okay. So be very, very mindful about this, that you're not asking wrong questions to your children. Body safety rules. Teach children to say no, introduce children to the safety network, teach children about the swimsuit rule, which I spoke about, teach children not to keep any body secrets with you, teach children to ask for help when in trouble. Okay? Who can be in a safety network of children? So tell them that these are your like emergency dials for you. Can be papa, mama, can be grandparents, can be mama, someone whom they trust. All right. And only teach them that you should disclose to them and no one else. All right. This is the swimsuit rule. You can take a screenshot of the same if you want to explain your child how the swimsuit rule applies to them, and touching anywhere which is covered by the swimsuit is not okay. And even their lips are a private part. Lips and mouth are also private parts which should not be touched. Okay. Safe, bad, and confusing touch. Okay. Safe and unsafe touch is something you know. Now, confusing touch are certain things. If your child is small, you can run the fingers in a seductive way and explain to them that this is also not okay. Don't be embarrassed. Let them know that this is how certain things can happen. You may not be able to identify it immediately better, but this is how it happens, slowly and gradually. Okay. And then you can do a demo session, make them display it to you to see and check whether they have understood it or not. Okay. This is a very important rule. When they are in grave danger, they feel that there is no one around. It might be in a strange place just outside of your office. They're outside their school. If something is happening to them through a stranger, these are the protocols. No, go, run, tell. Tell means shout. Tell is not saying softly. Tell is shout. Okay. How can a child identify if he is feeling unsafe? These are certain things you have to tell them, that if you are uncomfortable, these are the signs that you should look for in your body. Early warning signs and impact. Suppose a very bubbly kid has started growing quiet. They have started showing vulnerability or behaving in a very cranky way. Okay, they're getting into nervous breakdown very often. These are certain things which shows that there is a change in his environment, and you should start the conversation around that. Role of teachers, parents, and caregivers. So I think I've discussed it all. So these are appropriately certain pointer things that you have to remember, because we have discussed so many things. These are certain very important things that you have to keep at the top of your mind when approaching POCSO. Okay. The role of schools are ample. Okay. There is a lot they have to do. And as parents, I'll give you this tip. if you're living in communities, you might be seeing that many parents have enrolled their kids to one common school. Gang up as parents and go and talk to the authority of your school. Only when you guys as parents go and gang up and talk to these schools, they will take you seriously. As ma'am said that, Shilpa ma'am said that they have been trying to get entry into the schools and they take it lightly. Why? Because at times it has also been observed that schools feel that zyada sensitization karwa denge na, if we make children too aware, who knows, there might be many cases which are coming up and that may be wrong for our reputation. So we don't, as parents, we don't care about your reputation more than the safety of our children. Okay, so we should gang up as parents and go and talk and tell them that we as concerned parents have come here to know what are the POCSO implementation done in this school. Where if you're admitting your child or in the middle of a term, gang up with other parents and go and ask them that where have you arranged a sensitization session for us? Have you arranged a sensitization session for our children? Where are the POCSO posters in your school? I do not see it. What have you done? What do you mean by stating that I am POCSO compliant? What do you mean by that? Where is your POCSO committee? I need to know who my child should raise a complaint if there is any uncomfortable situation arising in the school premises. I want to know that. Ask these pertinent questions. Make them fall in that uncomfortable situation where they will start hearing you out. Because 2,53,000 is not a small number. Not a small number at all. Questions that teachers can ask to detect child sexual abuse. So we have teachers here in the cohort right now. So these are certain things that can help you to unravel the mystery if there is any child sexual abuse which is being suffered by the child for a long period of time. Okay. So these are checklists by CBSE school. Okay. They're very important. And if you relook now into your school space and think whether these things have been implemented, I think you need to do a lot of homework. Okay. So from this cohort, I'm really expecting that you guys will go back to the schools and tell them that please implement POCSO or give us the evidence that you have implemented it. Take screenshots of these kinds of things. We will also share it with you. Take these screenshots and ask them that where is it? How are you ensuring the safety of my most precious element of life? Your children are your investment. They are your future. They're probably comprising of a major chunk of your life, your emotional investment. If someone is meddling or peddling with their safety, I think as parents, we should not be okay with it. So these are compliance checklists for your schools, for your knowledge, and these are the certain things that you should ask for. There also has to be counseling sessions if wrong has already happened. You don't have to run post to pillar to find out who will counsel your child. Schools should be equipped to do that. By forming those POCSO committee, they have to do it, and these sessions should not be happening in an isolated way. It has to happen throughout the year. Elder children should be aware. Responsible children should also be part of these POCSO committees. So if you have older children, encourage them to find out in their own schools and colleges whether they have a POCSO committee in place. Tell them that I want to be part of it. You go and express this, beta. That's how you empower your children. That go and have this conversation at school that I want to form the POCSO committee. We will take external help from other people if required, but let's form it. Let's take the first step. So I think I have already covered these things, and all the time we are there for you. We are just a click away. You can reach out to us, and with this, I can take up questions.
Sania, just a minute of yours. I just want to appeal to the participants that, apart from the POSH, POCSO sessions, which we try to do. We have also Dr. Nivrithi's session where she introduced the concept where how to talk to the children on these aspects. She has special sessions which are there. So as you would be part of the WhatsApp group, the Torch Bearers group, you will be informed timely that, these are the sessions where parents, as a parents, you would be interested, or as a teacher, you would be interested to know how to talk, because that's the most important thing, how to talk to a child. Even today, I still get confused how to talk to them, how to initiate them. And as Sayana has said that, you need to kill the curiosity at the right time and in a right way, rather than keep that thing hanging and make them more curious. Okay, so there have been small sessions which are conducted through Poshshala, and in future, whoever would be interested can join those sessions when they are conducted. This was something which I wanted to put forward to you as a on this platform. And as we can take the question now, if you have any. I think Muttal, we had told you to hold on, so sorry for that, but you can now raise questions, whatever you want.
Yes, Muttal.
Thank you, Shilpa, and thank you, Sayana, for the session. It was very insightful because I was looking for getting POCSO trainer program for a long time.
That is also separately there, Muttal.
Yeah, I was connecting with Sayana at that time, got to know about this opportunity. Even this gave a lot of clarity of what it is and how it is happening. Thank you for that. And Shilpa, it was from your session that you were discussing about. You told there is no timeline for the complaint that the individual have to come forth, or the people who are associated with the individual that have to come forth. Yeah. As you know, child sexual abuse and all those stuffs happen in an intimate circle, rather than most of the time intimate circle is the prone for child sexual abuse, and most of the time family silences the child or the child's parents, as they want to protect the family's, frame, relationship, all these stuffs. So in that case, you told when there are a lot of bystanders who are not allowing the child or the associated family to report such cases, even those bystanders can be facing legal, legal fight. They can be filed complaint against. So I believe this is a safe space. I'm not descriptively saying what it has happened, but I have encountered such situations in my surroundings, wherein such circumstances happened like 10 years past. Now the individual has grown in college, but every time the trauma and tremors come back, and certain news flashes on newses and the social media, that triggers happen. Not individual suffers a lot, and as cousins and sisters of that individual, we also get certain tremors, and we want to hold space for her. Certain things happen, but we never voiced out for such occasion. But when you told the information, it was like empowering for me. Whether we can stand, we did not voice out at a particular time because there were a lot of bystanders during that time.
Yes, I understand, and it's very emotional.
Actually it is.
Yes, it is.
Just revisiting the lived experience that was happened once. So this was basically that, Shilpa. So how we can, revisit it? That individual person was actually a predator, even not an abuser. I've done similar things. A lot of other, extended family women. As a women, they're talking and sharing things inside, but nobody addressed it. As legally nothing happened, and the person is now in 70 plus.
Muttal, if you remember, there was a movie, Monsoon Wedding. Do you remember, or if you have seen that movie, the similar situation? Exactly, Muttal. Family, I don't remember the actress name. She's there. She's a well-known actress, and same situation. She goes through it from family members.
Shefali
Chaya. And from childhood, she faces it, and when she becomes adult, and she sees him in 70s, and he, mingling with the child, taking care of the child, taking her out, she stops that movement. And that's the time her outburst is there, and telling the family, this is what I went through. and he's the uncle and his father is in a fix how to, and he has been supporting the family whatever reasons and all, he could not tell him, but then when the Shefali Shah says that this is something which is really gruesome, he can continue or he must have done to so many, she comes up with it, and how Nasir bin Shah comes up and tells his brother, elderly brother, to get out and just leave the place, and his wife tries to say no, she tries to protect, but that's how the situation is. I agree with you that this is there. So when I said there's no time limit, it all depends within what you want to do right now. Firstly, if you talk it in the family, it will be not ye bahut purani baat hai, they will try to just close it at that level. But then if you have to take some actions, you really have to sit down with your cousins and with the person, that whether you want to go ahead and register a case or what you need to do, or talk to the concerned person and say that you have done this bad. Before you go, you need to make sure that what actions you want to take, either a legal action which is there, which is going to be you need to really prove things, you'll need to provide evidence, and evidence in the sense you'll need to be present to give your explanation and everything. Or if you want not to go to the police, and if you all want to, he's in 70s, of course you cannot be sensitive, or you cannot give him that comfort,
empathizing kind of thing,
whatever, but you can sit with that person who, and y'all whoever are faced or know the situation, can talk to him, this was something which was really wrong done, and tell him that it was wrong and make him feel guilty about it.
Ma'am, even in Highway movie, the Alia Bhatt one.
Yes.
Yes, I mean, when we teach our children, as I said, about body boundaries and body rules, half the problem gets solved. That is the reason why we thought that as parents, we should sensitize our children so that they report certain things and come back to you and tell that this is going wrong, and you empower them. You tell them that you say that it's not okay. And that will make your work much more simple. If we are not talking to our children and keeping these topics as hushed topics, adult topics, and hence we will not discuss with our children, we are part of the problem then.
Nutal, I just wanted to conclude here. What do you think you want to do?
Shilpa, my concern was that, if, as you said, I'll revisit the things and I'll discuss with the individual. What if, again, there is a lot of bystanders? Can I also tell them that if you again bystand this situation, I will also file a complaint against you?
Yes, you can. You can, Nuttal. In fact, when you're talking to him, or if you take a situation where you are making him feel guilty, these are the things you're done wrong, you can add this situation to that.
So there are a lot of people protecting the predator than the victim. There is a lot of
I understand. It is usually like that when it comes to family matters. It is always like that. But then you can add this statement to them. There's no limit for filing a case under POCSO. Make it, that apparent, that you are aware about it, and you can go to the case. You voice it up in that way. Your cousins.
Before actually filing the case, because he's a very aged person and people might have their sympathies for him. All right. It is important to scare the hell out of that man.
Yes.
With the law.
Yes.
He shouldn't become another perpetrator to another innocent kid.
Exactly. And also Sayana and Shilpa, and as you told us, we are the torch bearers now.
Yes.
And we will be discussing these informations in our circle environment with mothers or any women around us. I think I also wanted to emphasize this point. If it is with your family, if people are, stopping you from complaining, trust the government or the law will support you. That bystander can also face the consequences if they are stopping you.
Yes.
I think, I saw that I wanted clarity. So when I'm being in torchbearer, I'll highlight this point as well.
Thank you so much, Mutal. We achieved a lot through such kind of a response, because that's very, very important. These are the sessions where we are looking forward for people who can, connect with us, become our torchbearers and spread it across. Yes, thank you, Mutal.
Thank you.
So all the best. Yeah,
Ma'am, and I have one more thing. Like whenever a child comes to her or his parents and say something about a family member, like I didn't like how Dadu or Mama Chacha touched me, so the parent should believe the child and just not say like he was like doing it
Yes.
by affection or love.
Yes,
Because
that's what.
I have seen many times like
Yes.
parents say, "Yeah, he's your Dadu, he can kiss
No,
you."
no.
And
Right,
and
right.
one more thing, ma'am, what happens in schools are like, since schools are very powerful, they have a lot of connections with police and politicians and all. So most of the time, these cases like keep on like either they are crushed in the beginning or they are like always pending in courts because their schools are very powerful. So they
Unfortunate, yes.
give money to the witnesses and police is not willing to register the complaint. So I have seen a lot in these cases since schools are very powerful. So
the only way out is that we keep empowering ourselves.
Yes.
With a huge cohort.
Yes.
Where, evading such things will be difficult.
Yes, Aisha, you can take help of us all who are there. Whoever are there, if at all any situation come across, we are all there. Now we have formed a team, and definitely from us, some or the other experience tips will support you to take actions or punish the culprit or some. It's not necessarily always legal. Yeah, it's not always technical under POCSO, strictly falling under this rules, that rules, but emotionally sensitizing, making them aware, making them feel guilty on this side also will help us to stop others. Because if you're making, proving somebody guilty in front of some public, there might be 4 or 5 people who are doing the same thing, but they will be scared. When we talk about POCSO in a criminal way, when we have the support, मतलब हमें अपना voice और अपना रुतबा इतना ऊपर करना है सबको. And as Sania also said that gang up and इतना powerful बना है कि सामने वाला डर जाए. Okay, तो ऐसी situations हमारे साथ किसी के साथ भी हो सकती है. Right time, ask for help, take support and get it done. And it could be not if filing FIR, but it could be in a situation where we catch hold of the person, make him feel that he is wrong. Sometimes what happens, of course, it's a heinous crime, but sometimes if we stop, explain, वो बोलते हैं ना, बोल के उनको guilt feel कराओ, तो भी कहीं वो थोड़ा कम हो जाए. Yeah, so it's very important that apart from the legal help under POCSO Act, if the something is initial, we can stop it their way. And as we were talking, we can make our kids aware also on that front, and develop that kind of real comfort, loving rapport when they come and talk to us. Mama, ये गलत था क्या? Check, कुछ भी हो.
They need the validation from time to time. That is very important that we keep that conversation ongoing.
Yeah. Ayush, we were trying to address it?
Yes, ma'am, it's great.
Yeah.
Anyone who doesn't have a question can leave. We have ended the session. It's okay. And anyone else, if they have any question, we'll love to take it up now. And rest. If not, then we will end the session right now.
Yeah. And I would really appeal on this platform, please join us. Our team is here to make y'all take at a different level, form a group, spread the awareness. It will be real, some goals which we have set across for ourselves to spread it in a small way, small sessions, and growing in a big group. So, we'll make a place for our future generation which are safe, secure, and we will be also at peace. Yeah.
Yeah. Any more questions?
You all can always put it in the group later also.
Yeah. Later also.
We'll be happy to address them.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Thank you then.
Thank you everyone. Thank you. We look forward to connecting. Thank you.
Yeah. Nice. Yes. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.